Good afternoon from Corby. Today I'm travelling with East Midlands Railway all the way back to St Pancras, calling at Kettering, Wellingborough, Bedford, Luton Airport Parkway and St Pancras. Other operator penalty fare stations are St Pancras, Luton Airport Parkway, Luton and Bedford. EMR penalty fare stations Wellingborough, Kettering, Corby, Market, Harborough and Leicester. It's time to depart Corby. First stop is Kettering. We'll pass through a couple of neutral sections during our journey.
Welcome aboard this East Midlands Railway service to London St Pancras, calling at Kettering, Wellingborough, Bedford, Luton Airport Parkway and London St Pancras. Our next station is Kettering.
Plenty of space if no one's sitting opposite you, which is rather beautiful. In the pantograph carriage because I want to hear that noise when the train passes the neutral section. The thump noise. First time what I heard it was on a southern journey from Watford Junction to Clapham Junction. I now dislike the Central Line. I'm not into it that much anymore. First off, they removed the direct service from Ealing Broadway to Woodford via Hainault. It's now two separate services. A shuttle from Woodford to Hainault and another service from Hainault to Ealing Broadway via Newbury Park. Then, when the Elizabeth line opened, Central Line got the announcements for the Elizabeth line wrong. You can hear them at Stratford, Liverpool Street, Tottenham Court Road and Ealing Broadway. Central Line isn't that interesting. Central Line isn't that interesting anymore now the Elizabeth line's open. And this is where we joined the Midland Main Line, which is sadly not electrified. Well, it's only electrified from St Pancras to Kettering. Used to only be electrified as far as Bedford before Class 360s entered service on the Midland Main Line. I think East Midlands Railway should have ordered Class 379s instead of the Class 360s, as the Class 379s have had a much more comfortable declassified first class area that I got to chill in back in November last year on my way back to Liverpool Street from Cheshunt, the day I was doing all London Overground journeys on the Lee Valley lines, Liverpool Street to Chingford, Liverpool Street to Cheshunt via Seven Sisters, and Liverpool Street to Enfield Town. We'll shortly be arriving at Kettering for East Midlands Railway services to Leicester and Nottingham. Total cost for today's journey was £17.15 with railcard discount.
We are now approaching Kettering. Mind the gap and step when leaving the train. Change here for EMR intercity services to Leicester, Nottingham and the North.
Kettering has 4 platforms. Platforms at Kettering are for. I think platform 1 is for Wellingborough, Bedford, Luton Airport Parkway and St Pancras. Platform 2, Corby only, with only 1 train per day continuing further to Oakham and Melton Mowbray. Platform 3, St Pancras only. And Platform 4, Market Harborough, Leicester, East Midlands Parkway and Nottingham. Platform 2 for the 1350 East Midlands Railway service to Corby, calling at Corby only. This train is formed of 8 coaches. Next stop, Wellingborough. The 1346 East Midlands Railway service to Corby is delayed due to a late running train in front of this one. Calling at Corby only. If there was Class 379s in service, then maybe there would be 12 carriage services to Corby, as the platforms are apparent.
East Midlands Railway service to London St Pancras, calling at Wellingborough, Bedford, Luton Airport Parkway, and London St Pancras. Our next station is Wellingborough. If you see anything suspicious, please tell a member of our team on the British Transport Police. You can also text the British Transport Police on 61016. Remember the 3 S's. See it, say it, sort it.
Actually, that train is formed of 4 carriages, not 8, sadly. I say these trains are a lot more spacious than the 720s are. I think the Class 379 would have been a lot more suitable for the Midland Main Line, as you would have been able to walk through from one part of the train to another. 222001 en route to Nottingham via East Midlands Parkway. These units still have the Greater Anglia interior. They should get a 2x2 seating layout. Being overtaken by 222 by 222023. and 222021. A 10 carriage set from Sheffield or Nottingham to St Pancras.
Now approaching Wellingborough, mind the gap and step when leaving the train.
Wellingborough. Platform 1 for Kettering and Corby. Platforms 2 and 3 occasionally used. Platform 4 for Bedford, Luton Airport Parkway and St Pancras.
London St Pancras. Our next station is Bedford.
Next station is Bedford, change for London Northwestern Railway and Thameslink services.
Welcome aboard this East Midlands Railway service to London St Pancras, calling at Bedford, Luton Airport Parkway, and London St Pancras. Our next station is Bedford.
We're now on the fast lines for the remainder of the journey to St Pancras. these seats can't be used as a bed after all. Unlike on the Bakerloo and Central lines back in London, where we're heading back to now. Neutral section between Wellingborough and Bedford. Southbound trains from Bedford to St Pancras can use platforms 3, 2 or 1. Thameslink trains usually occupy up to 3 platforms at Bedford. Platform 1A is specifically reserved for London Northwestern railway services. Platform 4 specifically for East Midlands railway services. Let's have a look at the bathroom quickly. Huge flood in here. The sink is overflowing and the tissues aren't properly stocked. Okay, now we're getting out of here for the rest of the journey.
approaching Bedford, mind the gap and step when leaving the train.
We'll shortly be arriving at Bedford. Change here for services for Thameslink and London Northwestern railway services. We'll be arriving into platform 1. It's a great mix of airline and table style seats. Actually, we're arriving into platform 2. Next to us is a Thameslink service. No idea where it's headed to yet. That train will depart for Brighton via Gatwick Airport, avoiding Redhill. That was an East Midlands Railway Class 222 passing through platform 4. A Thameslink service to Gatwick Airport via Redhill just left it. Our next station is Luton. Change for Thameslink services once again. We're overtaken by a 222 bound for St Pancras. There goes 700 133 is about to form a Brighton via Gatwick Airport service.
East Midlands Railway service to London St Pancras, calling at Luton Airport Parkway and London St Pancras. Our next station is Luton. If you see anything suspicious, please tell a member of our team or the British Transport Police. You can also text the British Transport Police on 61016. Remember the 3 S's. See it, say it, sort it.
And no London Northwestern Railway Class 230, sadly, because we called at Bedford at the wrong time. But never mind, Marston Vale line will be for a future video. Back up to top speed, 110 miles per hour, rest of the journey to St Pancras via Luton Airport Parkway. I've definitely enjoyed today's journey. That there is the Marston Vale line down there towards Bletchley. I am Loki of Asgard, and I am burdened with glorious purpose. There should be class 360s with 12 carriages, like on the Great Eastern Main Line during the days of Greater Anglia. There may have been 12 carriage class 360s. Sadly, I think East Midlands Railway are only allowed to use class 360s with 4 or 8 carriages. Sadly, the class 360s 36201, 36202, 36203 and 36204 that initially operated with Heathrow Connect from Paddington to Heathrow Terminal 4, as well as 36205 that initially operated on the Heathrow Express as a shuttle between Terminals 2 and 3 and Terminal 4, were sadly scrapped this year. When TfL Rail took over services to Heathrow Airport in 2018, 36201 to 36205. Heathrow Connect ceased to exist alongside the Heathrow Express shuttle between Terminal 4 and Terminals 2 and 3. Right now, Heathrow Express is just one service between Paddington and Terminal 5 via Terminals 2 and 3. TfL Rail eventually retired its Class 360 fleet in 2020 after they managed to successfully operate Class 345s to Heathrow Airport. Terminal 4 then reopened on 14th of June. We must be running behind a late-running train. When I first did the LNER Azuma Class 801 really, from London King's Cross to Leeds in March this year in standard class, I was surprised by the amount of legroom. I thought it would be little to no legroom, but it was actually a great amount of legroom. I imagine it's the same with the GWR IET, Hull Trains Paragon and Trans-Pennine Express Nova 1. I think it's due to rail works, I suppose, as in plan engineering works, not rail works, what Train Simulator used to be called when it was released in around 2008. It's now called the Train Simulator Classic, after the recent release of Train Simwell 3. Welcome to Flitwick. East Midlands Railway should take note of the bathroom on 360-120. As soon as the train arrives into St Pancras, I'll make them aware of it. There should be tray tables, but there aren't any, sadly, like on the 350/2s. I think I find the other 350 subclasses more enjoyable. 350/2s are alright, I suppose. The 2x3 seating on the 350/2s were overtaking 222-020. Goodbye. Enjoy the rest of your journey to St Pancras. You'll overtake us at Luton, I suppose. Some stations on the Thameslink network have short platforms, namely Elephant and Castle and Balcombe. Announcements for the Elizabeth line on Thameslink. We will shortly be arriving at Farringdon. Change here for the Circle, Hammersmith and City and Metropolitan lines and the Elizabeth line, including services to Heathrow Airport. The doors will open automatically at the next station. Woolwich Arsenal. We will shortly be arriving at Woolwich Arsenal. Change here for Docklands Light Railway, including services to London City Airport and the Elizabeth line. Abbey Wood. We will shortly be arriving at Abbey Wood. Change here for the Elizabeth line. Another neutral section between Flitwick and Harlington. Yep, trains are definitely faster than driving, mostly. I enjoy the fact that East Midlands Railway don't do seat reservations on their Class 360 services. This is because some seats have a poor window alignment. This seat here has a missing window, or some of the seats have misaligned or missing windows. Between Harlington and Leagrave, we're overtaking a Thameslink service to Gatwick Airport via Redhill. This is, I believe it's 700-140. Yep, and it's definitely bound for Gatwick Airport via Redhill. It's either for... Yep, it's definitely Gatwick Airport via Redhill. Welcome aboard this EMR service to St Pancras, calling at Luton, Luton Airport Parkway and St Pancras. Our next station is Luton.
We are now approaching Luton. Mind the gap and step when leaving the train.
Trains that call at Luton also call at Luton Airport Parkway. It applies to all trains, both East Midlands Railway and Thameslink. Although some morning East Midlands Railway services may call at Luton Airport Parkway instead of Luton. Or maybe just run non-stop all the way from Kettering or Leicester to St Pancras. Usually the intercity services run non-stop from Kettering or Leicester to St Pancras.
This station is Luton. This train is for London St Pancras. Our next station is Luton Airport Parkway.
Our next and penultimate stop is Luton Airport Parkway for Thameslink services and a bus link to Luton Airport. Starting to get rather sunny.
Welcome aboard this East Midlands Railway service to London St Pancras, calling out Luton Airport Parkway and London St Pancras. Our next station is Luton Airport Parkway. Now approaching Luton Airport Parkway. Mind the gap and step when leaving the train. If you are leaving us here, please make sure you have all your luggage and belongings with you. Change here for London Luton Airport.
There's currently a direct rail transit between Luton Airport Parkway and Luton Airport itself being built. Some EMR intercity services are a Class 180 which hasn't had its interior changed since Hull trains. That's because the Class 810 is supposed to enter service next year. If not, then possibly 2024, but we are not sure about that yet. It's supposed to get rather busy from here for the rest of the journey to St Pancras. This is our penultimate stop. Once again, this is our penultimate stop, Luton Airport Parkway.
This station is Luton Airport Parkway. This train is for London St Pancras. Our next station is London St Pancras.
Sorry. Excuse me, please. Sorry, got anything there. Goodbye, Luton Airport Parkway. Now there is a Thameslink service bound for Bedford, 700-109, and that there is 700-140 bound for Gatwick Airport via Redhill.
Welcome aboard this East Midlands Railway service to London St Pancras. Calling out London St Pancras. Our next station is London St Pancras.
There is the direct.
Please tell a member of our team all the British transport companies. You can also text the British transport companies on 61116. Remember the 3 S's. See it, say it, sort.
That
The aisles free from luggage and other belongings.
What you just saw back there at Luton Airport Parkway was the direct rail transit between Luton Airport Parkway and Luton Airport itself that they're currently building. Supposed to open by the end of this year. If not, then by the beginning of next year, I imagine, depending on how long engineering works will be. I definitely recommend the declassify first class area if any of the other carriages are packed, or other parts of the train. East Midlands Railway operates about 6 trains per hour out of St Pancras, 2 trains per hour to Corby, both of which call at Luton Airport Parkway. Luton, Bedford, Wellingborough, Kettering and Corby now are being overtaken by 700 140, which is definitely bound for Gatwick Airport via Redhill. 2 trains per hour to Nottingham, both of which call at Kettering, Market Harborough, Leicester and Nottingham. 1 train per hour also calls at Loughborough, East Midlands Parkway and Beeston. 2 trains per hour to Sheffield, both of which call at Leicester, Derby, Chesterfield and Sheffield. 1 of which also calls at Loughborough, East Midlands Parkway and Long Eaton. East Midlands Parkway is for buses to East Midlands Airport, Luton Airport Parkway. Well, the bus link is supposed to be in service until the direct rail transit to Luton Airport opens, whenever that is, either by the end of this year or the beginning of next year. Who knows? Maybe they'll do some testing for sure. That's the shadow of the pantograph. We'll soon be passing a neutral section. I saw a blackboard with white lines. Whiteboard with black lines means it's the neutral section itself. You'll see. That was the neutral section. There is another East Midlands railway service to Nottingham or Sheffield. That was presumably the M25 motorway. Well, it can't be, not yet. Maybe we've passed it already? This is your train manager speaking. Apologies for the delay. We are stuck in behind a late running train. We apologise for any inconvenience caused to your journey. We are still expected to arrive into St Pancras in about 10 minutes' time. Please note the bathroom in this carriage is low on tissues. So if you need a bathroom, please wait until after your journey, if possible. What's happening is we are currently stuck behind a late running train. So we may be behind schedule. Also at our final stop, St Pancras, you can change for Circle, Hammersmith and City, Metropolitan, Northern, Piccadilly and Victoria lines, Eurostar to mainland Europe, Southeastern High Speed and Thameslink, including services to Gatwick Airport. Also change for Thameslink and Great Northern, LNER, Lumo, Grand Central, and hold train services from King's Cross. Exit for British Library. There's also the Piccadilly line. Oh yeah, the Piccadilly line does go to Heathrow Airport. We're now passing through Radlett. There's 700 030 en route from Sutton to St Albans City, calling at St Albans City only. "15 miles out of London." Apparently that's a railway line that is no longer around. It's definitely what appears to be a former railway line. It looks like we are now on the slow lines for the remainder of the journey. So we're now on the slow lines, sadly, to allow faster trains to get to St Pancras. Now there is another Thameslink service. There could be planned engineering works on the fast lines. Or maybe they chose to put us on the slower lines to allow faster trains to overtake us. This is more spacious. Also, it's right beneath the pantograph. That there was a neutral section between Radlett and Elstree and Borehamwood. And it's started raining again. Okay, now the journey is longer than expected. Which means that the 15:15 to Corby from St Pancras may be subject to delays and or cancellations. Freight train as we pass through Elstree and Bournemouth. Welcome to Elstree and Bournemouth. Goodbye Elstree and Bournemouth. On the GWR IET, seat reservations are recommended irrespective of how long or short your journey on the GWR IET is. Same with the Hull Trains Paragon and Trans-Pennine Express Nova 1. Seat reservations are indeed mandatory on the LNER Azuma and Lumo trains. Seat reservations are not necessary or possible on the Southeastern Javelin. Well, my thoughts about this journey, everything was fine until after Luton Airport Parkway. On Sunday, there will be planned engineering works from Gospel Oak to Shepherd's Bush and Richmond. As a result, London Overground will operate 4 trains per hour on the North London line from Camden between Stratford and Camden Road, 2 of which to Gospel Oak and 2 of which to Willesden Junction via South Hampstead. I think it's more of a secret route that freight trains usually use, but yep, I plan on doing that journey on Sunday as it's very secret. It even passes Camden Market, which is a good thing. I say today's journey on 360, 107 and 360, 120 was alright. You have 9 tip-up seats in the wheelchair area, right next to the wheelchair bathroom. If I do travel with Southeastern High Speed again, I have to make sure I sit in the pantograph carriage because I want to hear the power change at Ashford International if the train is going via Canterbury West or Folkestone Central, or at Ebbsfleet International if the train's going via Gravesend. Here we are, Mill Hill Broadway. We have a Class 700. Couldn't tell where that one was going, but maybe another time. I think the reason why we're not on the fast lines anymore is because of the weather, I think. So we're running at reduced speed. Anyone who's booked advance tickets can travel on the next available service if the original train was cancelled. There goes East Midlands Railway Class 360 operating the 1445 to Corby, calling at Luton Airport Parkway, Luton, Bedford, Wellingborough, Kettering and Corby. I say travel between London and Kent is better with Southeastern High Speed than it is on the Class 375s and 377s that operate out of Victoria, London Bridge, Cannon Street and Charing Cross. Because the mainline services that run out of Charing Cross. Now I know why we're not running on the fast lines anymore. It's because there's a track fault between Mill Hill Broadway and Hendon. I think only northbound trains can run on the fast lines. I was saying the mainline services out of Charing Cross, Victoria, London Bridge and Cannon Street, they have a rather pointless first-class area. Thankfully, Southeastern high-speed services are entirely standard class, because Southeastern already believes that high-speed is premium, even if there is no onboard catering. St Pancras to London to Ramsgate, an hour and 45 minutes from St Pancras, 2 hours from Victoria, and an additional 25 minutes if your journey is via Maidstone East. At Margate, there are no ticket barriers. Welcome to Hendon. Next train is the 15:05 Thameslink service to St Albans City, calling at Mill Hill Broadway, Elstree and Boreham Wood, Radlett and St Albans City. of shopping centres. We approached the proposed Brent Cross West, which is supposed to be served by Thameslink when it opens. Whenever that is. You're supposed to have stairs, escalators and lifts, like most stations. Can't walk through the entire train, just 4 carriages. We're now outside Cricklewood. It's okay. We are very close to London and we're closing in very slowly.
Ladies and gentlemen, train manager speaking. We'd like to apologise for the slow running of this service to London St Pancras. Has been advised to all train operators that there's been a safety inspection of the track around this area, therefore we're having to run at a reduced speed for our journey into London, therefore the journey will take a bit longer. We'd like to apologise in advance for any problems that will cause for your onward journeys. Once again, this is due to a safety inspection of the track being advised by Network Rail, therefore trains have got to run at a reduced speed now into London St Pancras.
Even though there are advanced tickets available for travel between St Pancras and Corby, you can pretty much just hop on any service because they don't check your tickets, apparently. 700-014 calling at Cricklewood with a St Albans City service. Calling at Hendon, Mill Hill, Broadway, Elstree and Borehamwood, Radlett and St Albans City. Goodbye, Cricklewood. We're moving, not Thameslink. Track inspection. Saw those workers on the track earlier. Thankfully, we're on the fast lines again. For the rest of our journey towards St Pancras. There is a Thameslink service on the left to Bedford. Oh, it was the Pride one, 700 111. West Hampstead Thameslink. This means we're almost there. That was an intercity service. We're definitely closer to St Pancras now. We're about to pass through Kentish Town. Hello, freight link to Gospel Oak to Barking Line. Goodbye, freight link to Gospel Oak to Barking Line. We're now going beneath the North London line, which will definitely be in a future video once again. We're overtaking 700-041 to Sutton via Mitcham Junction, calling at Kentish Town, St Pancras, Farringdon, City Thameslink, Blackfriars, Elephant and Castle, Loughborough Junction, Herne Hill, Tulse Hill, Streatham, Tooting, Hayden's Road, Wimbledon, Wimbledon Chase, South Merton, Morden South, St Helier, Sutton Common, West Sutton and Sutton. We just passed through Kentish Town, which means we are definitely close to St Pancras, our final stop. This is your train manager speaking. We're now approaching St Pancras, the end of our journey. Change here for the Circle, Hammersmith and City, Metropolitan, Northern, Piccadilly and Victoria lines, Eurostar to mainland Europe, Thameslink including services to Gatwick Airport, and the Southeastern high-speed services. Please remember to take all your belongings with you when leaving the train. All change, please. Also, change here for Thameslink and Great Northern, LNER, Lumo, Grand Central and Hull train services from King's Cross. Alight here for the British Library.
Until St Pancras, which is our final stop. Thank you for travelling with East Midlands Railway. Mind the gap and step when leaving the train.
Once again, exit here for the British Library. We now have to wait for an available platform at St Pancras. CTRL, Channel Tunnel Rail Link, NR National Rail. AWS, NR Automatic Warning System, National Rail.
Ladies and gentlemen, should be arriving into London St Pancras International where this service now terminates. Please ensure you do have all your personal belongings with you. Also, please have your tickets ready, as ticket gates are in operation here in London. If you do see any suspicious items activity around the station, please do not hesitate to contact a member of station staff, or you can text British Transport Police on 610016. Remember the 3 S's: see it, say it, sorted. We'd like to apologise for the delayed arrival of this service. This was due to a safety inspection of the track. From Network Rail, all trains had to move slow into London, and therefore I'd like to apologise and inconvenience make with your journeys. As you're now being delayed over 15 minutes, you're now entitled to delay replay. Please do visit our website, eastlandsrailway.co.uk/delay replay, or call in to one of our booking officers for a form. Thank you for travelling Midlands Railway Connect. This is London St Pancras International, where this service now terminates. All change, please.
Oh, it's lovely to see a Eurostar Class 373 or E300 in St Pancras. E300 signifies that its top speed is 300 km per hour or 186 miles per hour. The E320, the new Eurostar trains, have a top speed. The Class 374 or E320. E320 means that its top speed is 320 km per hour. E320s are the new Eurostar trains you're used to seeing, such as on services from London St Pancras to Amsterdam. E320s now operate on all Eurostar routes. Some of the E300s still operate to Paris and maybe Brussels. Once again, this is the end of our journey all the way from Corby to St Pancras. Once again, this is St Pancras, the end of our journey. Journey on board 360-107 and 360-120 was alright, I suppose. 222023. It's here at St Pancras. You also have 222005. It's on platform 8, that older Eurostar train. Once again, that's it for the journey from St Pancras to Corby. As always, see you in the next video.